And you might remember that Art really got his big network break on Johnny Carson because he was billed as the amazing Metrano. And here's a little bit of the amazing Metrano right now. Art?
Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Ha 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 ha. Ha da 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 da. Ha da 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 da. Ha 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 ha. Big trick. Da 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 da. What are you guys expecting more than that? Thank you. Magic fingers.
What a way to start a week having
What a
you.
night, what a day.
Having you here.
It's like Boston here, you know that?
It's just like Boston.
Reminds me.
Can I put this on you?
Please.
Oh, are you funny?
Thank you
How
so
are
much.
you?
I'm great. How you doing?
I missed you the last time you were here.
Yeah, well, we talked about you.
You did, huh?
Yes.
I bet you did.
I said, where are you?
Oh, that's a funny clip. That Police
Yeah.
Academy 3. You are the scapegoat in this
They're
film,
doing
right?
all these hair jokes. In the first movie, my hands get stuck to my head, and they have to cut my fingers out of my head. On this one, they rip off my, on the Police Academy 4, honestly, they're going for the underarms. What's next?
I don't know. I'm afraid to ask you.
Don't ask. Only Dr. Ruth can know.
Yes. I can't even tell the Dr. Ruth story that you told me this
what
morning.
A story. It's true.
Oh, only Dr. Ruth. Okay, Tough Cookies now also a
Yeah.
series, right?
Yes.
Another lieutenant.
Another cop. I play cops. Do I look like a cop to you?
No, not this morning, but
I can't get romantic leads.
but a different kind of a cop on the show.
Yes, and this one is, I'm really dramatic. It's a, my thrust in the show is to put Robbie in right form.
That's Robbie Benson.
Robbie Benson. He's a wonderful actor. And I'm really the serious thing in the whole show. Everyone else is doing comedy, and I'm the one that's the dramatic thrust. I always tell Robbie he's doing something wrong, and we've got to get these guys. And it's really fun, actually, because Robbie's so great.
It's amazing. You're such a combination. I mean, you told me your stand-up comedy act was, the time you were doing that was about that long.
Right.
But.
And what did you say?
I didn't say anything. Oh, no,
I'm
you're
here
not
in
doing
Boston.
that to me.
Clam chowder, please. For me and the friend.
Oh, fun. You have a great, I want to get serious. I want people to know something. You did something that I never, and forgive me for the sweeping generalization, I never assume that many men do. Usually when a child is born out of wedlock, given up for adoption, it's the mother that searches.
Yeah.
But you did. You made a search.
I'm glad you said that, because, I had a long conversation with a psychiatric friend of mine who spoke about in marriages, people who are married and have children, where husbands won't pay alimony after, won't pay for child support after divorces. And that was one of the reasons why I wrote the story, because I told people that I had known, intimate friends of mine, about this boy that I had. And I just couldn't get him out of my mind. And, for a long time, I had children, I had a daughter, and then I didn't think I was ever going to have children again until recently. I had 19 months ago, I had a boy, which was great to have the boy in my house, to grow up with him, throw the ball and watch him take things off the table. It's just great. So I missed that with my first child. And so, I really went looking for him. I wanted to know what he was about, and I wanted to know if he knew me, and I didn't want to scare him. And if it wasn't for, I had a friend of mine, Elliot Gould, we were doing a film together in New York, and when all this happened, and it happened so fast, after 18 years of searching and saying, oh, I'm never going to see this kid, this phone rings, and there is this girl on the phone, and I said, hello, Renee. And she went, what? Like, how do I know your voice? I said, I don't know. And she started telling me this information, and she wasn't even sure where he was, and I hired this detective to find him, and 3 days later he was found, and they told me he was studying at a yeshiva to become a rabbi. And the first thing I said, tell me the truth. Does he have long little bayas with a hat with a Fremmel and we're dancing? Whoop, whoop, whoop. Please, I want to know now before I see this kid. So I'm looking to throw him a ball. Say, hi, I'm Dad. I'm home. You know, I did my little, you know. And he looked very normal. He had jeans on with a little yarmulke, and it was, you know, and he had a numbers.
What was it like when you first saw him, when you saw each other?
It was a very Jewish feeling, actually.
Come on.
It was just unbelievable because he didn't know who I was, and I didn't tell him that I was his father. I was there with Elliot and a driver and me, and he walked in, and we had lied to the kid on the phone in order to get to see him. We had told him a story that Elliot was going to do a movie about a yeshiva, and we needed some technical advice. So when we arrived at this place in Far Rockaway, the kid, who I didn't know who it was yet, there were two kids standing on the corner, walked to the car and looked in and saw the driver, saw me, and then saw Elliot and yelled back. He said to my son, because I knew his name, he said, "Howard, it's Elliot Gould." And I said, "Oh, good, I'm a beard. They'll never know who I am." And everywhere we went, there was this thing was going on. They'd see Elliot walk into the yeshiva, the rabbi would say, "Elliot Gould? What are you doing in Far Rockaway?" It was like a joke. So I was like a shadow. It was great. I was able
When
to...
did you tell him?
2 weeks later.
And how did he react?
Oh, it was wild. He couldn't believe it.
You're close now, are you?
Yeah. He just had a baby. I'm a grandfather. We don't want to talk about that. Look how good I look.
But you know what's nice? You have
Having
another.
my face done.
You have another baby, and you know, you
Yes.
already have named her Zoe Elizabeth. Huh? She's not born yet, but
I'm
you know
so
it's a
blessed.
girl.
I got to tell you, with all the stuff that's going on in everyone's life, I feel especially blessed. You know, having gone through what I did and having the relationships as close as I have them, and to have children now where I could really appreciate them without worrying about my career or my finances or, you know, all the crazy things we do when we're trying to make something out of ourselves. And even my daughter, who's 16, is not getting this one-on-one like my son Harry is getting, like Zoe will
It's
have.
really important, isn't it?
Yeah, I think we have to grow up, and it's not easy. There's a poem I live by, and I want
right.
to pass it on to you. There's a destiny that makes us brothers. No one goes too far alone, and all that you put into the lives of others comes right back into your own.
Oh, isn't that nice?